Hi, this is the Business Guy. Welcome to our discussion on the risks and disadvantages of Cook Islands trusts and the possible solutions to mitigate these challenges. We'll delve into the potential downsides and explore strategies to address them. So let's start by examining the potential risks and downsides of Cook Islands trusts. And while you're at it, you can click the subscribe button below so you'll be notified when updates come out. The legal risk associated with Cook Islands Trust is something we need to address, especially for people who are newly considering such a trust to protect their assets from lawsuits. The best solution I know of to navigate any possible downside is to work with an experienced provider who specializes in offshore trusts. For example, I've personally set up more Cook Islands trusts than anyone in the world. I've been in the profession for 32 years, and we also have several attorneys on staff who complete the documents and oversee the process. So an experienced provider can help ensure that your trust is established in a legally sound manner and compliant with relevant laws. As a comparison, if you want to climb Mount Everest, the government there has certain rules you must follow. They won't allow you to just show up and go on your merry way. You can't just catch an Uber to the base camp and start traipsing up the hill all alone. The law there requires that you hire a guide called a Sherpa and bring them with you to help you accomplish this monumental feat. After all, this is your life we're talking about here. In the offshore trust world, it's your financial life. Additionally, many experts such as us recommend diversifying asset protection strategies by combining a Cook Islands trust with other legal entities, such as a limited liability company. LLCs also enhance the overall protection and flexibility. For example, we will put an offshore LLC inside of your trust. The LLC holds the bank account. You are the initial manager and signatory on the bank accounts. Then if needed, our trustee company law firm can step in as manager, and that way, when the judge says, "Give me the money," our law firm, who is not under the jurisdiction of your local courts, can step in to protect you from that order. Transparency. To address the issue of transparency, we utilize our reputable trustee law firm who operates with high ethical standards and transparency. We've had a relationship with our head attorney in the Cook Islands for 27 years as of this year. Moreover, our Cook Islands trustee law firm is the signatory on my own bank account within my own Cook Islands trust. Such trustees can also help maintain a balance between protecting your assets and adhering to regulatory requirements. Moreover, having our professionals guide you so you stay informed about international transparency initiatives like the Common Reporting Standard and the Foreign Account Tax Compliance Act, or FATCA, can help you navigate the evolving landscape of offshore finance more effectively. Engage our experienced CPAs and discuss your situation with our experienced attorneys and consultants. Trustee dependency. Dependency on the trustee can easily be mitigated because you can fire the current trustee and hire another. You can have protector entities who can help you with tasks such as changing the trustee or changing jurisdictions altogether. So a Cook Islands trust can become a Nevis trust or a Belize trust. This can provide an extra layer of oversight and reduce the risk of mismanagement. Additionally, regularly reviewing your trust performance and conducting due diligence on the appointed trustee can help maintain an extra feeling of control. Trustee oversight. It's essential to establish clear guidelines and expectations within the trust agreement to safeguard your interest. Our trust documents, for example, cover just about every eventuality that you could think of, such as a judge ordering you to cease communication with the trustee, or if one of your trust beneficiaries died before you, or you want your future children or grandchildren who haven't been born yet to automatically become beneficiaries in the future. Criticisms. Now let's explore solutions to the criticisms surrounding offshore asset protection, including Cook Islands trusts. First comes tax evasion accusations. To address concerns about tax evasions, consider using Cook Islands trusts for legitimate asset protection purposes rather than for tax avoidance. Work with tax advisors who ensure full compliance with tax laws in your home country. Tax advisor consultation. These trusts are generally tax neutral. People who live in the US, Canada, UK, Australia, etc. are taxed on worldwide income. So the key is to be transparent with the tax authorities and report all income and assets held within the trust as required by law. the weakening of domestic legal systems. To counter the criticism of undermining domestic legal systems, ensure that the use of offshore trusts complies with all legal and regulatory requirements in your home country. Transparency and compliance can help maintain the trust in the legal and financial systems. And with the ever-increasing theories of legal liability, you need a countermeasure to work in your favor. The Cook Islands Trust can do just this, putting you in a position of negotiating strength when an aggressive opponent pries into your financial affairs. Legal compliance. Additionally, consider ethical and responsible wealth management practices to avoid negative implications. In fact, we work with some of the top money managers in the world in places such as Switzerland and Liechtenstein, where ethics and integrity and financial responsibility is a way of life. Costs. Moving on, let's discuss solutions to address the cost associated with the Cook Islands Trust. Initial setup fees. To manage initial setup costs, seek transparent pricing structures. Some trustees charge based on a percentage of the assets that you hold inside of the trust. Now, I'm not a fan of such arrangements because whether you have $500,000 or $5 million, the workload is really not that much different. In fact, you likely don't buy the cheapest rattletrap of a car you can find, so you certainly don't want to cheap out when it comes to protecting your money. So getting powerful, trustworthy protection at a reasonable price is a good guideline. Other considerations. Remember that while setup fees may be thought of as substantial, the long-term asset protection benefits can far outweigh the initial expenses. I mean, after all, would you rather spend tens of thousands of dollars if it meant saving tens of millions of dollars in wealth that you either now have or could turn that wealth into in the future with prudent investing? The bottom line is that the biggest risk is not setting up a Cook Islands Trust. The biggest risk is losing all of your wealth if you weren't protected. Annual maintenance. For ongoing maintenance costs, explore options for cost-effective trust services and regularly review your trust structure to identify potential cost-saving measures. Some experts suggest consolidating trusts or entities where appropriate to streamline expenses. For example, if you sell a business that's inside of an LLC, you don't need to keep renewing that LLC every year. You would be best served, however, to keep your trust active for the next lawsuit. Don't think you can let your guard down when the current lawsuit goes away. Keep your trust alive and active for the long term so that you are ready for the next battle. Moreover, the trust has estate planning provisions built into it so that your heirs can inherit your hard-earned wealth. Cost optimization. Ultimately, a well-structured and well-managed Cook Islands Trust can provide substantial asset protection benefits that justify the ongoing cost. In conclusion, while the Cook Islands Trust presents risks and disadvantages, there are viable solutions to mitigate these challenges. Legal expertise, transparency, trustee oversight, responsible tax compliance, adherence to legal requirements, and cost-effective management can all contribute to a successful offshore asset protection strategy. Subscribe for more. This is the Business Guy.